The hour for convening having arrived, all members, please take your seats. The clerk will please ring the bell. We're going to have the morning roll call. All members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. Doorkeepers will please close the doors and keep them closed. As is customary, we will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by the chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning will be introduced briefly by the gentleman from the 161st House District, Representative Bill Hitchens.
Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. I think I appreciate that. My reputation is gotten pretty widespread. But it's an honor for me today to introduce an old friend of mine. I've known him for many, many years. I don't go to his church, but we've interacted for a long time, and he's a very impressive preacher and community activist. And I'd also like to introduce his wife, Susie, who is probably more active in our county than Don is. But everywhere they go, you see the two of them together. Don's the pastor of the Oak Grove Church of Christ, where he's been for 23 years. I knew him previously when he was the pastor of a church in Port Wentworth, which is also in my district and is adjacent to Effingham County. One of the things I remember most, and we were just talking about it a little while ago, he was the Little League football coach of my son that most of you know, 42 years ago. And he said he was glad that he didn't ruin him, but he ended up being started one game and his freshman year and was the starting quarterback on our team for 3 years, and we played for the state championship in the largest classification. So I think I owe Don some appreciation. But the Oak Grove Church of Christ, you know, everything in Effingham County generally is pretty historical. It is the oldest continuous meeting Church of Christ in the United States. So just a brief history, and he and his wife have organized what they call Effingham's Heroes, which is an organization that supports all the public safety officers in the county. It's been going on for 3, 4, 5 years now. People in the judiciary, law enforcement, fire departments, EMS, everybody belongs to it. And last year we had the inaugural parade in Springfield, and I was fortunate enough to be named the Grand Marshal. So I appreciate it. He's moved up to Effingham County 23 years ago, but he and his wife have woven themselves into the fabric of our county, and we really appreciate it. So, Don, thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Hitchens. Thank you so much, and thank you for the friendship over the years. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate the office of Speaker John Burns and this opportunity to be here today. I'm deeply honored to have this opportunity to stand before you today in this capacity. And I sincerely thank each of you for the work that you do for our state. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4 is where we're going to read this morning. And it reads as follows. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. Selfish ambition focuses on personal goals, often at the expense of others. Vain conceit involves an exaggerated view of oneself and one's qualities, leading to a lack of true awareness. Now, I remember as a young preacher, on occasion when I allowed Satan to dominate my heart with these very traits that we've just spoken of from that verse. I'm not proud of it. A congregation in our area where I lived at that time invited a preacher to come and preach revival services for them. When I heard who it was, I could not believe it. This man, as far as I was concerned, had some real deep, serious theological issues, and he needed to be talked to. I decided what I would do. I would go with my Bible and my pen and my paper, and I would keep a record of everything he said that was wrong. I would catch him and I would confront him. I basically, at that time, didn't believe he could teach me anything because of the area of disagreement I had with him. So I attended the revival as I had planned, pen and paper in hand, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I didn't have anything on my page. Finally, about halfway through the service, the Holy Spirit convicted my heart about my selfish ambition and vain conceit. And I began to listen to this man speak that night from the book of Hebrews. And I've never heard anyone teach like he taught. He opened my heart to one beautiful truth after another. And when I left the church that night, my paper was full of ink, but it wasn't of his errors. It was full of the truths that this man had taught me that night. I vowed to God that night, as I had learned a lesson, that I would never again approach a service or a teacher or anyone as I did that night, that from then on, I would listen to learn, not for something to disagree with. I would not diminish or disrespect or disregard the wisdom of someone just because there was an area of disagreement somewhere in our lives. I would look for reasons to respect and hear when someone was sincerely trying to talk to me. Susie and I appreciate this body so much, and others that are here today. You have a tremendous responsibility as you attempt to serve the citizens of our state. You have so many voices vying for your attention And we live in a time when everyone is encouraged to disrespect and disregard any ideas from anyone with whom there's a disagreement. May we remember the words of Scripture today, applying them to our own hearts and our lives as we deal with others. And may we remember the words of Scripture that encourage us to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. In humility, may we value others above ourselves, not looking at our own interest, but each of us to the interest of others. We will not always agree with everyone, but with this approach, we can build a spirit of mutual respect and appreciation and genuine consideration, even in our disagreements. Would you stand with me, please, as we pray this morning? And following the prayer, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Precious Father, God of all creation, we bow before you, acknowledging that it is in you that we live and move and have our being. We bow before you this morning, Lord, to first of all say thank you. Thank you for your love, your mercy, and grace manifested in so many ways every day in our lives. Thank you for Jesus, our Lord and Savior, and thank you for the blessing of living in America and the blessing of living in the state of Georgia. Thank you for those you've raised up to serve as leaders. Thank you for everyone, from the highest officials in our state to those who serve in our local communities. Lord, today we continue to grieve for the life of yours and our servant that was taken, and mourn for his family. Please hold this family close to your heart in this time of loss. We ask for healing for your servant who was injured, and just please place a hedge of protection around all of our first responders. Thank you for those who selflessly served our state over the weekend to make it possible for us to get out and about and to protect us from the dangers incurred by the weather. Lord, especially today, will you bless with your presence, your wisdom, and guidance those of this chamber as they consider the important matters before them. Open their minds for the discernment needed to make not just good decisions, Father, but the best decisions for the well-being of our state now and the years to come. Thank you for the work in progress that has been done. You've been so good to us, Lord. Thank you for that which is presently being done in our state. We thank you for the blessings of opportunity this brings for families and citizens across our state for the future. And now, Lord, may the words of your servant David and our Savior Jesus, when they said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit, be the sentiments of our own hearts today in everything for your glory and honor and praise. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very much. That was perfect.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Let me just get the doors open and we'll get some pictures. Doorkeepers will unlock the doors. Members may meet the chaplain in the south anteroom.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hilton, the Chair of the Committee on Information and Audits. Chairman Hilton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Happy Girl Scout Day at the Capitol. Your committee is filled of cookies, and happy to report that we read the journal on the previous legislative day, and we have found it to be correct.
Good job. I love Girl Scout cookies, no doubt. I'm glad they're here. Chairman Hilton, the Chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to dispense with the reading of the journal? Hearing none, the reading of the journal is dispensed with. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? Hearing none, the journal is confirmed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day?
Representative, as sufficient of the 104th moves following be established as the order of business during the first part of the period unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions, first reading and reference of House bills and resolutions, second reading of bills and resolutions, reports of standing committees, morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions. Mr. Clerk, will you read?
House Bill 1117 by Representative Franklin of the 160th, Smith of the 18th, Stevens of the 164th, Chokus of the 151st, Gamble the 15th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 6 and 34 of Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to unfair trade practices.
Insurance.
House Bill 1118 by Representative Donatucci of the 105th, Jones of the 47th, Cooper of the 45th, Chokus of the 151st, Green of the 154th, and others. The bill be titled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 20 of Title 45 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to personnel administration.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 1119 by Representative Carpenter of the 4th, Bonner of the 73rd, Stevens of the 64th, Gullett of the 19th, Yurt of the 152nd. The bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 9 of Title 34 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to workers' compensation.
Health.
House Bill 1120 by Representative Gunner of the 8th. The bill be titled Act to provide for an advisory referendum.
Is that 20? Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 1121 by Representative Williams of the 148th, Hagan of the 156th, Stinson of the 150th. Bill be titled Act to amend Code Section 1563 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to terms of Superior Court.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1122 by Representative Douglas of the 78th, Newton of the 127th, Hughley the 141st, Hawkins the 27th, Howard of the 129th. The bill be titled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 24 of Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding insurance generally.
Insurance.
House Bill 1123 by Representative Jones of the 47th, Irwin of the 32nd, Hilton of the 48th, Ballard of the 147th, Donatucci of the 105th, and others. The bill be titled an Act to amend Part 14 of Article 6 of Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to other educational programs under the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 1124 by Representative Panich of the 51st, McDonald of the 26th, Evans of the 57th, Baird of the 24th, Tran of the 80th. Bill be titled an Act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to state government.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1125 by Representative Neal of the 79th and Carpenter of the 4th. Bill be titled an Act to amend Code Section 48.7, 40.26 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Georgia Entertainment Industry Investment Act.
Ways and Means.
House 1126 by Representative Neal of the 79th and Carpenter of the 4th. Bill be titled an Act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits regarding income tax.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1127 by Representative Crawford of the 89th, Westbrook of the 163rd, Oliver of the 84th, Holcomb of the 101st, Willis the 55th, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Part 2 of Article 4, Chapter 11 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to possession of dangerous weapons.
Judiciary non-civil.
House Bill 1128 by Representative Seaball, the 34th, Gamble, the 15th, Wade of the 9th, Werkheiser, the 157th, and Bonner, the 73rd, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 34-9-26 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to required notices regarding injured peace officers.
Public safety and homeland security.
House Bill 1129 by Representative Seaball, the 34th, Gamble, the 15th, Wade of the 9th, abstration of the 104th, Hong of the 103rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 36-88-6 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to criteria for enterprise zones.
Governmental affairs.
House Bill 1130 by Representative Seaball, the 34th, Gamble, the 15th, Rice of the 139th, Deloach of the 167th, Burchett of the 176th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 5 of Title 21 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to government transparency and campaign finance.
Governmental affairs.
House Bill 1131 by Representative Hong of the 103rd, Smith of the 18th, Saints of the 180th, Reeves of the 99th, and Scoggins of the 14th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 3, Chapter 4, Title 17 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to warrants for arrest.
Judiciary non-civil.
House Bill 1132 by Representative Franklin of the 160th, Stevens of the 164th, Evans of the 57th, Jones of the 25th, Crow of the 118th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 1 of Article 1 of Chapter 8 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to state sales and use taxes.
Ways and means.
House Bill 1133 by Representative Dickey, the 134th, Corbett of the 174th, Camp of the 135th, and Smith of the 70th. A bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 23 of Title 50, Code Section 36-91-100, and Code Section 48-8-200 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority.
Governmental affairs.
House Bill 1134 by Representative New of the 40th, Corbett of the 174th, Mathis of the 133rd, Powell of the 33rd, Smith of the 138th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 5, Article 8 of Chapter 14 to Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to pawnbrokers.
Regulated industries.
House-
Mr. Clerk, will you suspend just for a moment? Members, I'm challenged enough as it is. I would hate to assign your bill to the wrong committee because I can't hear. So if we could all just tone it down just a little bit, it'd be very helpful to those who want to hear where we assign and to myself. So thanks for that. Continue, Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 1135 by Representative Hilton of the 48th, Jones of the 47th, abstration of the 104th, Cannon of the 172nd, Townsend of the 179th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2A of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Student Scholarship Organization.
Ways and means.
House Bill 1136 by Representative Glaze, the 67th, Rice of the 139th, Franklin of the 160th, Mitchell of the 88th, Williams of the 168th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 12A of Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Georgia Smoke-Free Air Act of 2005.
Public and community health.
House Bill 1137 by Representative Silcox of the 53rd, Jaspers of the 11th, Evans of the 57th, Willis of the 55th, Trans of the 80th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend an act known as the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Authority Act of 1965.
Transportation.
House Bill 1138 by Representative Camp of the 135th, Jones of the 47th, Ballard of the 147th, Rice of the 139th, Reeves of the 99th, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Article 3, Chapter 4, Title 26 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the practice of pharmacy.
Health.
House Bill 1139 by Representative Camp of the 135th and Mathiak of the 82nd. The bill be titled an act to amend an act creating Spalding County Water and Sewage Facilities Authority.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1140 by Representative Hagan in the 156th and Williams in the 148th. Bill be titled an act to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the Magistrate Court of Ben Hill County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1141 by Representative Camp of the 135th, Jenkins the 136th, Rice the 139th, and Panich of the 51st. The bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 1511 131.1 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating the right to obtain an independent medical evaluation.
Judiciary Juvenile.
House Bill 1142 by Representative Hagan of the 156th, Hong of the 103rd, Jones the 47th, Donatucci the 105th, Reeves and the 99th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Titles 15 and 19 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to courts and domestic relations.
Judiciary Non-Civil.
House Bill 1143 by Representative Schofield the 63rd, Buckner the 137th, Hughley the 141st, Davis the 87th, and Scott of the 76th. The bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding health.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 1144 by Representative Schofield the 63rd, Hughley the 141st, Buckner the 137th, Mathiak of the 82nd, Davis the 87th, and others. The bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 8 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to sales and use taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1145 by Representative Parrish of the 142nd, Oliver the 84th, Holcomb the 101st, Fry the 122nd, Lever the 123rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 1 of Article 2 of Chapter 5 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to tax exemptions.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1146 by Representative Lallier the 59th, Hughley the 141st, Townsend the 179th, Westbrook the 163rd, Herring of the 145th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 1A of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to early care and learning.
Education.
House Bill 1147 by Representative Lallier the 59th, Glaze the 67th, Townsend the 179th, Wilkerson of the 38th, Howard of the 129th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 1A of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to early care and learning.
Appropriation.
House Bill 48 by Representative Cannon of the 172nd, Dickey the 134th, Corbett of the 174th, Rhodes of the 124th, Meeks of the 178th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 2 of Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income tax, imposition, rate, and computation.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1149 by Representative Cooper the 45th, Jones the 47th, Hawkins the 27th, Gisler of the 121st, Hagan of the 156th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 24, Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to insurance generally.
Insurance.
House Bill 1150 by Representative Powell of the 33rd, Jones of the 47th, Osteen of the 169th, and Donatucci the 105th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 34, Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to physicians, assistants, and others.
Health.
House Bill 1151 by Representative Park of the 107th, Hughley the 141st, Miller the 62nd, Gisler the 121st, Herring of the 145th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 7, Chapter 4, Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to medical assistance generally.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 1152 by Representative Park of the 107th, Hughley of the 141st, Miller of the 62nd, Gisler the 121st, Herring of the 145th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 48.7.27 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to computation of taxable net income.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1153 by Representative Oliver, the 84th, Holcomb of the 101st, Fry of the 122nd, Ali of the 106th, Williams of the 37th, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1154 by Representative Clark of the 100th, Smith of the 18th, Gullett of the 19th, Powell of the 33rd, McCollum of the 30th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 17.10.30 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to procedure for imposition of the death penalty. Yes, sir.
Judiciary Non-Civil.
House Bill 1155 by Representative Ford of the 170th and Osteen of the 169th. bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners for Tift County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1156 by Representative Richardson in the 125th, Newton in the 127th, Leverett of the 123rd, Clifton in the 131st, Smith of the 138th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 36 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to local government.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1157 by Representative Evans, the 57th, McLean of the 109th, Trans of the 80th, Blaze of the 67th, Kendrick of the 95th, and others. A bill to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 4, Title 34 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to minimum wage law.
Industry and Labor.
House Bill 1158 by Representative Horner of the 3rd, Cox of the 28th, Abstration of the 104th, Fleming of the 114th, Campbell of the 171st, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 and Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding state government.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 1159 by Representative Gamble of the 15th, Seaball of the 34th, Wade of the 9th, Blackman of the 146th, Williamson of the 112th, and others. The bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 2 and Title 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits relative to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1160 by Representative Crawford of the 89th, Smith of the 18th, Evans of the 57th, Hong of the 103rd, Kelly the 16th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 5 of Chapter 3 of Title 9 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to tolling of limitations.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1161 by Representative Lim of the 98th, Clark of the 108th, Santos of the 117th, Hong of the 103rd, Reeves of the 99th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to motor vehicles and traffic.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 1162 by Representative Hawley of the 116th, Santos of the 100th, Sanchez of the 42nd, Lupton of the 83rd, Neal of the 79th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 16 of Chapter 2 and Article 11 of Chapter 11 of Title 14 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to records and reports relative to business corporations.
Judiciary.
House Resolution 1177 by Representative Glaze of the 67th, Rice of the 139th, Mitchell of the 88th, Williams of the 168th, Buckner of the 137th, and others. A resolution urging pedestrians in Georgia to wear bright or reflective clothing.
Special Rules.
House Resolution 1178 by Representative Richardson of the 125th, Newton of the 127th, Leverett of the 123rd, Clifton of the 131st, Smith of the 138th, and others. A resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to remove the cap on benefits granted.
Ways and Means.
House Resolution 1200 by Representative Gisler of the 121st, Draper of the 90th, Roberts of the 52nd, Tran of the 80th, O'Lallier of the 59th, and others. A resolution urging the Georgia Secretary of State to continue to protect private and protected information.
Governmental Affairs.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. Mr. Clerk, will you read?
House Bill 1083 by Representative Leverett of the 123rd and Powell of the 33rd, a bill to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the Magistrate Court of Madison County. House Bill 1084 by Representative Leverett of the 123rd and Powell of the 33rd, a bill to authorize the assessment and collection of a technology fee by the Probate Court of Madison County. House Bill 1085 by Representative Petrie of the 166th, Burns of the 169th, Cannon of the 172nd, Burchett of the 176th, Buckner of the 137th, and others, a bill relating to imposition rate, computation, exemptions, and credits relative to income taxes. House Bill 1086 by Representative Chastain of the 7th, McDonald of the 3rd of the 26th, Cannon of the 172nd, McCollum of the 30th, Jaspers of the 11th, and others. A bill relating to regulation of fire and other hazards in persons and property. House Bill 1087 by Representative Bonner of the 73rd, Hitchens of the 161st, Osteen of the 169th, Prince of the 132nd, Donatucci of the 105th, and others. A bill relating to general provisions regarding provisions applicable to counties and municipal corporations. House Bill 1088 by Representative Mathiak of the 82nd, Reeves of the 99th, Jones of the 143rd, Green of the 154th, Evans of the 57th, a bill relating to chiropractors. House Bill 1089 by Representative Mathiak of the 82nd, Clark of the 100th, Hagan of the 156th, Byrd of the 20th, Cahan of the 81st, a bill relating to controlled substance and pharmacies. House Bill 1090 by Representative Corbett of the 174th, a bill to amend an act revising, superseding, and consolidating the laws creating and governing the Board of Commissioners of Eccles County. House Bill 1091 by Representative Corbett of the 174th, a bill to provide a non-binding advisory referendum for the purpose of ascertaining whether the electors of Brantley County support a perimeter highway pass around Waycross. House Bill 1092 by Representative Yerta of the 152nd, Green of the 154th, Chokus of the 151st, and Sampson of the 153rd, a bill to amend an act to create the Chehawk Park Authority. House Bill 1093 by Representative Burchett of the 176th, Corbett of the 174th, a bill to provide for a non-binding advisory referendum for the purpose of ascertaining whether the electors of Ware County support a perimeter highway bypass around Waycross. House Bill 1094 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, a bill relating to elementary and secondary education. House Bill 1095 by Representative Powell of the 33rd, Tarvin of the 2nd, Ridley of the 6th, and Jaspers of the 11th, a bill relating to regulation of fireworks. House Bill 1096 by Representative Taylor of the 173rd, Hatchett of the 155th, Sharper of the 177th, Osteen of the 169th, Cooper of the 45th, a bill relating to general provisions relative to the Department of Public Health. House Bill 1097 by Representative Petrie of the 166th, Dempsey of the 13th, Hilton of the 48th, Cameron of the 1st, and Saines of the 180th, a bill relating to mental health. House Bill 1098 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, and Schofield of the 63rd, a bill relating to the One Georgia Authority. House Bill 1099 by Representative Flournoy of the 74th, Reese of the 140th, Howard of the 129th, Adina of the 110th, Dawson of the 65th, a bill relating to educational programs in elementary and secondary education. House Bill 1100 by Representative Bell of the 75th, Fry of the 122nd, Berry of the 56th, Jones of the 60th, Stinson of the 150th, and others, a bill relating to sales and use taxes. House Bill 1101 by Representative Clark of the 100th, Cahan of the 81st, Dunn of the 31st, Fleming of the 114th, Reeves of the 99th, a bill relating to ad valorem taxation of property. House Bill 1102 by Representative Clark of the 100th, Green of the 154th, Reeves of the 99th, Bonner of the 73rd, Hilton of the 48th, and others, a bill relating to miscellaneous local administrative provisions regarding ad valorem taxation of property. House Bill 1103 by Representative Bell of the 75th, Gilliard of the 162nd, Hawley of the 116th, Jackson of the 128th, Fry of the 122nd, and others, a bill relating to the state highways. House Bill 1104 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Glaze of the 67th, Stevens of the 164th, Mathiak of the 82nd, Owl of the 50th, and others, a bill relating to required disclosures and consent for certain procedures, exceptions, rules, and regulations. House Bill 1105 by Representative Washburn of the 144th, Donahue of the 31st, Scoggins of the 14th, Reeves of the 99th, Donisucci of the 105th, and others, a bill relating to tax exemptions. House Bill 1106 by Representative Berry of the 56th, Miller of the 62nd, Park of the 107th, Barnes of the 86th, Drenner of the 85th, and others, a bill relating to the Department of Community Health. House Bill 1107 by Representative Rice of the 139th, Jones of the 47th, Irwin of the 32nd, Townsend of the 179th, Hilton of the 48th, and others, a bill relating to professional standards. House Bill 1108 by Representative Byrd of the 20th, Gahan of the 81st, Fincher of the 23rd, a bill relating to elections and primaries. House Bill 1109 by Representative Byrd of the 20th, Gahan of the 81st, Dunham of the 31st, and Barrett of the 24th, a bill relating to presentation of proper identification to poll workers. House Bill 1110 by Representative Hilton of the 48th, Reeves of the 99th, Lumsden of the 12th, Nugent of the 127th, Smith of the 138th, and others, a bill relating to imposition rate, computation exemptions, and credits for income taxes. House Bill 1111 by Representative Leverett of the 123rd, Williams of the 148th, Rhodes of the 124th, Gunter of the 8th, a bill relating to sales and use taxes. House Bill 1112 by Representative Barrett of the 24th, Martin of the 49th, Cox of the 28th, Blackman of the 146th, Smith of the 138th, and others, a bill relating to selling and other trade practices. House Bill 1113 by Representative Barrett of the 24th, Martin of the 49th, Jaspers of the 11th, Cox of the 28th, a bill relating to definitions regarding the Georgia Defined Contribution Plan. House Bill 1114 by Representative Yerta of the 152nd, Dubnik of the 29th, Irwin of the 32nd, Wade of the 9th, Paris of the 142nd, a bill relating to competencies and core curriculum under the Equality Basic Education Act. House Bill 1115 by Representative McCollum of the 30th, Burchett of the 176th, Fleming of the 114th, Stevens of the 164th, Efstration of the 104th. A bill relating to regulation of specialized land transactions. House Bill 1116 by Representative Blackman of the 146th, Burns of the 159th, Efstration of the 104th, Hatchett of the 155th, Cannon of the 172nd, and others. A bill relating to ad valorem taxation of property and sales and use tax. House Resolution 1155 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, Sanchez of the 42nd, Mathiak of the 82nd. Resolution urging statewide support for the passage of the Georgia PAD Screening and Amputation Prevention Act. House Resolution 1156 by Representative Baker of the 64th, Davis of the 87th, Dempsey of the 13th, Scott of the 76th, Denson of the 150th, and others. A resolution recognizing January as National Birth Defects Prevention Month. House Resolution 1157 by Representative Petrie of the 166th, Stevens of the 164th, Seabaugh of the 34th, Cannon of the 172nd, Dickey of the 134th. A resolution reaffirming support of the United States national motto through second readers.
Reports of standing committees. Mr. Clerk, will you read?
Representative Hawkins, the 27th District, Chairman of the Committee on Health, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Health has had under its consideration the following bill of the House. Has instructed me to report same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 629 do pass by substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Hawkins, the 27th District, Chairman. Representative John Corbett of the 174th District, Chairman on Committee on Motor Vehicles, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Motor Vehicles has had under its consideration the following bills of the House and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 204 do pass. House Bill 944 do pass. House Bill 1022 do pass. House Bill 957 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative John Corbett of the 174th District, Chairman. Representative Alan Powell of the 33rd District, Chairman of the Committee on Regulated Industries, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Regulated Industries has had under its consideration the following bill of the House and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendation. House 632 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Alan Powell of 33rd District, Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
Members, we'll move on to morning orders. We have a lot of good friends in the gallery and members that want to recognize them, so hope you be courteous and come to your seats. I can read lips. I see some very important conversations going on, so if you'll take those conversations to the ante room, I would be very grateful. Members, please take your seat and give the gentleman who's about to enter the well your attention. We'll start with Representative Al Williams for a 2-minute morning order, and then we'll take the other morning orders, and you'll have about a minute and a half to recognize your visitors. A minute and a half. That's minute and a half is 90 seconds if you're slow on math. So that's what that is. So Representative Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You sound like a preacher when I'm getting ready to speak at a funeral. 2 minutes. And I forgot my watch.
Not possible.
At the seat. Not possible. I rise this morning for a moment in black history that's very personal. On your desk, I was glad to see today's Rosa Parks Day. And there is a reception going on from 9 until 12. It's a very personal moment. When I was in the 9th grade, I met Rosa Parks. The only people that doesn't like that is the leader in State Farm. But my age has caught me. But to meet Rosa Parks was an experience. She was one of the gentle souls of the civil rights movement, soft-spoken, full of wisdom. But sitting with her was a lady who was truly the mother of the civil rights movement. And to sit and listen to this wisdom. And we documented a lot of this in a documentary that has been done called Dorchester Academy, Liberty. And it documents Andrew Young's work at Dorchester Academy, where the first real job he had in the civil rights movement was in Liberty County. And going down there and meeting Rosa Parks, reading Miss Septima Clark, who was the mother of the civil rights movement, meeting people that would one day be household names. Jesse Jackson, when the only thing I recognized was his afro. John Lewis, Fannie Lou Hamer. The greats of the civil rights movement came through Dorchester Academy. If you're ever in Liberty County on your way to heaven, you may come by and see Dorchester Academy, where the legends of the civil rights movement, where the Birmingham movement was planned. I had a very rare seat to listening to the planning, but the history comes alive at Dorchester. And I invite you to look at the documentary on Dorchester that was produced by Kay Flowers Johnson. She used to be an anchor woman for Channel 11. She's done an excellent job. This tells a seldom told story about this fantastic place that was once a school, started in 1871, ended up the school that trained over 10,000 people in community organization and qualifying people to go home and register to vote all over the South. That's my moment in Black history.
Thank you, Representative Williams. I didn't know about Dorchester so much. I've heard you mention it before, but we all know that a story is seldom told. It's soon forgotten, right? So let's tell the story. Chairman McDonald and Representative Schofield recognized for a morning order and some recognitions, I believe, and some other friends. Chairman McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, today is Firefighter Appreciation Day. Many of you have volunteers in your community, and many of you have full-time. So this is an annual thing we do here to recognize firefighters. I think a lot of them are in the governor's office right now having a photo op. But we have over 30,000 firemen in the state of Georgia with 900 fire departments. This is in each and every one of your communities. So you'll see them around today. Thank them for what they do, the sacrifice that they make from their families and waking up at all hours of night serving our communities. So today, February 3rd, 2026, is Georgia Firefighter Appreciation Day. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I get a chance to brag on our firefighters. Members of the House, join me in welcoming Atlanta Fire Chief Roderick Smith and the members of the Atlanta Fire Rescue and Foundation as we honor and recognize Firefighter Day at the Capitol. We thank Chief Smith for over 30 years of dedication, particularly in the city of Atlanta, and for the countless hours that he's given. He's a proud Georgian, and he has led the brave men and women in the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department. As a result, it is my distinct honor to recognize Chief Smith for his years of dedication, service to our state as Outstanding Georgia Citizen, an award, highest award presented by the Secretary of State. And I also want to thank Teos Wynn for your contributions for the Atlanta Fire Foundation. Join us at 2:16 upon adjournment for a meet and greet. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please stand and let us recognize you. I yield the well. Thank you.
Thank you, members. Chief Smith, thank you for your service, and thanks to all of our firefighters who risk their lives and their well-being to represent us all and keep us safe. Thank you, sir. All around the state. Most grateful. Chairlady Dempsey and friends, let's see. She has some friends. Chairman Blackman, Lumsden, and Barton and Hitchens. Please come join the chairlady in the well, if you will, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we honor all firefighters, particularly this morning, one is on my heart and on my friends behind me as well. We were privileged to know Chief Gordon Henderson. He lived a life of dedication and service. He passed away this past fall at the young age of 75. Very young. His legacy of service spanned nearly 5 decades. He was a native of the Georgia Model Community, which is in Rome, a veteran of the Rome Fire Department, and steadily rose through the ranks since 1975 to earn many awards, honors, and distinctions through that time. When he stepped away with retirement in 2015, he continued to serve our state in many ways. Over the years, he served as president of the Georgia State Firefighters Association, the district vice president for the Georgia Association of Fire Chiefs, and multiple leadership roles within the National Fire Protection Association. Chief Henderson continued to serve statewide as the executive director of the Georgia Firefighter Standards and Training Council, a role which he fulfilled until 2022. He ensured the compliance and regulations and collaboration that continue with all of the firefighters that we see in each of our communities. Today, I would ask y'all to please stand. His family members and dear friends are with us, particularly Executive Director Randy Toms, who is recognizing his legacy, our own current Rome Floyd Fire Chief Troy Brock, Jason Brownlow, Christian Tifton, and his widow, Mrs. Dawn Henderson. Please stand and let us recognize you, and thank you.
Condolences to the family. A life well lived and well served, sounds like to me. And to all of our fire professionals, thank you so much. And it's great having y'all here in the People's House. Thank you, Chair Lady Dempsey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Representative Beckles. Lady is recognized for a morning order. Do you have some friends coming with you? We'll also allow them to join you as well.
Thank you, Mr.
It is
Speaker.
recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise to recognize a pillar of faith and community service, the Harvest Tabernacle Church, as they celebrate their 25th anniversary. For a quarter of a century, under the visionary leadership of Pastor Travis and Stephanie Jennings, the Harvest Tabernacle has been more than a house of worship. It has been a beacon of hope and transformation in our community. Since 1999, this church has faithfully served through food pantries, which has fed hundreds of families. Their commitment extends beyond Sunday services, from homelessness outreach to community cookouts, from nurturing young lives through children's ministry to uplifting families in crisis. The Harvest Tabernacle embodies the principle of service beyond self. Mr. Speaker, as we honor their 25th years of faithful service, I ask this body to recognize Pastor Travis and Stephanie Jenkins. Could you please stand? Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I yield the well.
Thank you, Representative Beckles. Thank you for your service, and welcome to the People's House. We appreciate what you've been doing and what you will do as well. Thank you so much. Chairman Hitchens, do you have a morning order? You want me to call on someone else first? You want me to call someone else first? I mean, you don't have to speak if you don't want to. I can assure you of that. And because, you know, we do have a 90-second time limit. Adabsolutely. Chairman Hitchens is recognized.
I was supposed to do this yesterday, but the people who were supposed to be in the gallery weren't here. So yesterday was Effingham Day at the Capitol. All our folks, the Speaker and my folks, were here, but they were at a DOT meeting. Effingham County is one of the original 8 counties in Georgia, founded in, actually the Salzburgers landed there in 1731, and it was incorporated into the United States in 1777. Our first governor of the state of Georgia, not under English rule, was John Adam Troutland, who was an indentured servant that came from Salzburg, Austria, and worked his way up through the legislature to be our first governor, who was later assassinated by the Tories after the Revolutionary War. So there's a lot of history in Effingham County. You heard me speak to the chaplain of the day. Everything there is old, including myself and the speaker. But do we have some of the folks from Effingham County here? There we go. No, they're leaving. So I appreciate everybody who turned out last night for the reception. We had a great reception. A lot of representatives showed up, and we're very appreciative.
You made it. Time to spare. Thank you, Chairman Hitchens. We're always glad to have home folks. I know all the other members are as well when they come up and visit us here as we work. And we appreciate our folks from Effingham County. Representative Buckner, Representative Debbie Buckner. And friends, what's the name of that town? Junction City. Y'all know where that is. That's where she's from. Representative Buckner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are a number of us here today that are wearing green because we used to have different little uniforms that were green because we were Girl Scouts. Today's Girl Scout Day in the Capitol, and we have some Girl Scouts upstairs. So I'm joined by Girl Scouts that prove that the leadership programs in Girl Scouts work, or we wouldn't be here. That's right. That's right. So the other great thing about Girl Scouts is it started right here in Georgia, in Savannah, with Juliette Gordon Lowe in 1912. So it's over 100 years old, and she did something very unique at the time by reaching across class, cultural, and ethnic boundaries to ensure that all girls, including those with disabilities, had a place to grow and develop their talents and leadership skills. She is to be commended for her vision, and we are excited to have girls, 43,000 Georgia girls in the program, learning, growing, and becoming strong. Will the girls in the Girl Scouts in the gallery that aren't already standing, stand up so we can recognize them, and welcome to your house. I know. So when you enjoy your cookies, think of them. Go girl.
Lady, you yield for a question?
Sure.
So, Juliette Gordon Lowe, where'd you say she was from? I thought you said Atlanta. I beg your pardon. I'm Savannah. I'll listen more intently next time. Just checking. Hey, y'all, that's our future. Thank you, young ladies, for being here. We appreciate the Girl Scouts. Thank you so much for being in the People's House. Representative Mitchell and the City of Tucker delegation. Representative Billy Mitchell. All you folks from Tucker, Georgia.
Two. Who am I missing? Monty? It is what it is. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm delighted to be able to stand before you in the same place that I stood 10 years ago, making the proposal that this body pass and adopt the new incorporation of a city that has done extraordinary things since that time, scandal-free. The City of Tucker. I'd like them to stand as I call their name. They have joined us in the gallery, starting with Frank Allman, the city's first mayor, City Council member Virginia Reese, and Ann Lerner, the city's only the second mayor of the city. Please help me welcome the City of Tucker as we celebrate Tucker Day. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Good work at Tucker. Chairman Blackman. Have some friends too. Yes, he has friends.
Everybody's welcome. Mr. Speaker, thank you, fellow members. Please feel free to join us down here as we honor Georgia's aerospace industry, recognized on February 3rd, 2026 as Georgia Aerospace and Defense Day at the Georgia State Capitol. Just many of you probably saw the simulator down in the rotunda, but just a few facts about our aerospace industry. There's over 800 companies that employs more than 200,000 Georgians. One to my left here at one point, Representative Jones, it's the state's second largest manufacturing industry, and it generates an annual economic impact of almost $60 billion. It remains Georgia's #1 international exporter, with exports totaling over $12 billion, over $12.5 billion. And we have 7 of the world's top 10 defense contractors housed here in the state of Georgia. We are joined today by a number of those companies, and they are represented by the Georgia Aerospace and Defense Alliance. If you're here with us in the gallery, I would invite you to stand up. If not, we'll recognize this day in the aerospace industry just the same. Please join me in thanking them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Dubnik and Representative Gamble, Floor Leader Gamble, recognized for a morning order. Do y'all mind clearing the aisle there, Chief, so they can get by?
Thank you, Speaker. It's an honor to be up here today. We have the students from the Engage Club from around the state that are here today. They're officers and some students which are all studying civics education. And this is a part of National CTAE Month, which we celebrate in February, Career and Technical Student Organizations, and we just wanted to take an opportunity to recognize them for being here at the Capitol today. And if we have any of the members of the Engage Club, we would invite them at this time to stand so that we could recognize y'all. There they are. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, members. Welcome, Engage Club. I think that's our future there as well. What do you guys think? No doubt. Thank y'all for being here. Representative Santos is recognized, and friends, for a morning order. Representative Santos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Also part of the Engage Club, we have the McDonough High School NJROTC program and 158 cadets who serve in it. The cadets live by 3 words: honor, courage, and commitment. Those values shape their character, guide their leadership, and prepare them for success in life. We also recognize their instructors: Chief Warrant Officer Fort Raleigh Coleman, U.S. Marine Corps, retired, and Chief Petty Officer Timothy Welch, U.S. Navy, retired. Thank you for building the leaders and setting the standard. As a proud parent of a cadet who is actually here, by the way, and a proud aunt of another cadet who is also here, this recognition is very important. Please join me in applauding the McDonough High School NJROTC cadets and their instructors. If you're here, please stand.
For your left and
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
thank you, Representative Santos. A great program, ROTC. Thank y'all for being involved and engaged at McDonough. We appreciate that. Chairman Petrie. Okay, members, give your attention to the member in the well. Chairman Petrie is recognized for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize some friends. If y'all will stand up in the gallery and to kind of recognize the Georgia Association of Community Care Providers, an association that is dedicated to serving the frail, the vulnerable, the elderly, the intellectually disabled in community settings all across this state. They do great work.
Gentlemen, will suspend just for a moment.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
These folks do a great job keeping people not only safe, but allowing them to live in the community, which is not only better for quality of life, but better for taxpayers, folks. Keeping people at home as long as possible. Thank you all for being here today. Y'all are having a lunch for all of our members here, anybody who's interested, between 11 and 1 and 125 here in the Capitol. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We very much appreciate what y'all do, services you provide for your clients and people that's so important to us. Thank you so much. Chairman Carson's and friends, this is our last morning order, sports fans. Last morning order, friends, join Chairman Carson. Gentlemen, recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is Kennesaw State Day at the Capitol. I don't know if you've seen, but Scrappy has been here, our mascot owl, as well as Dr. Kat Schwag, president of the university, as well as head football coach Jerry Mack, and they are the Conference USA 2025 football champions. How about that, huh? I encourage you to take a look at the flyer that's on your desk. 51,000 kids at Kennesaw State. And many people don't realize how big Kennesaw State is, but actually when you look at in-person students, they are larger than Georgia Tech, only behind Georgia State. Fantastic university. I received my master's there in 1998. I encourage you to take a look at Kennesaw State and go Owls. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman. A great program at Kennesaw. A great nursing program, but a great program across the board.
Great nursing, great business, great education school, sir.
How did you get out of school? Did you get a degree?
MBA.
I got you. That concludes we're proud of Kennesaw State, so thanks, Mr. Chairman, for bringing that up, and we appreciate them. That concludes our morning orders. We'll move on to the rules calendar. Move on to the rules calendar. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 350?
House Bill 350 by Representative Cameron of the 1st and others to be entitled an act to amend Title 19 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to domestic relations so as to provide provisions relative to safe places for newborns. This bill has been referred to the Committee on Public Safety and Homeland Security. That committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Representative Mike Cameron, you ready to go? Give the gentleman the well your attention, please. Representative Cameron.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the time. I bring today HB 350. This bill will allow the installation of infant safety devices in the state of Georgia. An infant safety device is something where, like a fire hall or a police station, an ambulance service, or even a medical facility can place a device where a child can be surrendered and safely surrendered, where someone will pick that up and take them to a medical facility or somewhere else. This is not a new concept. In Europe, for hundreds of years, they've had devices called hatches. And in Poland, they have something called the window of life, which is a box that has a window in the front of it. And when someone sees a baby, they tell the priest or they tell the nun or someone at a church, they go get the baby out. Now, how this process works is a newborn can be surrendered at, say, a fire hall. When they open the front door of this device, they place the baby inside. It's like almost like an incubator. They close the box, and the alarm goes off silently inside the fire hall. Then someone comes, out of the back side of the device, they take the newborn out. Then the process is to take the newborn to a medical facility to be checked out, usually with EMS. When the child gets to the hospital, they notify Human Services, they check the baby out, and once the baby is deemed to be safe and okay, Then within 6 hours, the Department of Human Services picks the baby up and places them in care. That way we get them in a safe place where they'll be there. One question that's come up is, what happens if, say, a fire department in a rural community will right on a call and the alarm goes off? The bill states that alarm has to go off to someone else, like an EMS or a 911 center, so someone knows that child is in there. So then someone can come and take the baby out. There's also another alarm that monitors the inside of the box all day long to see if there's any activity. Plus, the Act also requires twice a day that firemen or the police department, whoever, goes in, monitors, and checks to see if everything's okay. Once a month, both alarms have to be checked and verified to make sure they work. So it's a safe way. If someone makes a decision to surrender a child, they can do it this way and know that there are people there that are going to take care of their child and move the child through a process of safety to get them somewhere where maybe they can have a better life. So that's the whole idea, where we're not dropping babies indiscriminately places, those kind of things that's happened before. So, Mr. Speaker, that's the bill in general. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Gentleman, yield for a question.
Yes, sir.
Representative Schofield is recognized for a question. Representative Schofield, to your right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
I yield.
I just want to say that is this not a good bill?
I believe it's a great bill. It's an opportunity to offer something to someone when they surrender a child. And as a man, I can't imagine the pain that when you come to that decision of surrendering a child for whatever reason. But you know that if it goes in here, there's a process and the child will be safe and it'll be taken care of.
Does the gentleman further yield?
Yes, ma'am.
I look forward to voting yes on this bill. Can you expand that so that I can put legislator in the box like this one right over here and leave her somewhere? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We need to change the age requirement. Back to that.
Gentleman, further yield.
Yes, sir.
Representative Holly, to your left, towards your back, is recognized for a question.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for bringing this bill, sir. I was wondering, I was believing when you reading through this, it brought to mind that case of Justin Ross Harris, who intentionally, unfortunately, left this child in the car. But I think, certainly this bill looks at the fact that fathers too might be able to be spared should their child be under the age of 30. Is that true, even though the statute doesn't necessarily does not specify in terms of the sex of the parent?
It doesn't specify, but I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. But this is an excellent bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Rice, to your left, is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Do you yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it not true that in addition to giving the option of life to a mother that's potentially in a crisis pregnancy, there's also what this affords is when a mother or father has a child that might be in danger due to substance abuse or abuse in the home, it gives a safe alternative for that child to grow up safe and a happy life that parent desires.
You're exactly right. And I was thinking to mind, last year we had two members whose families had babies. Those babies are going to be loved and taken care of. But for children that aren't, this gives an opportunity to get those children in a position where they can find, hopefully, a forever family. And I think of former Representative Hutchison, that used to show children on the screen that needed to be adopted. We find a place for a child like that where they'll be safe and they'll be nurtured. So yes, thank you.
Representative Glaze is recognized for a question. Your left again.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is it not true that the saving lives of babies is probably the most heavenly thing that we can do in this session?
Oh, I think so. And one of these children may grow up and end up in this legislature. So you never know. We're giving children a chance to grow up and become everything they can be. So
Is it not also not true that as a mother and a grandmother, I stand firmly with this bill and can't wait to vote it up?
I know you do. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
help.
Representative Hitchens, Chairman Hitchens, recognized for a question to your left again.
Gentlemen, yield.
Yes, sir.
One of the concepts of this whole program was, to begin with, was anonymity. All those facilities that you named off typically have video camera security. Is there any guarantee that they won't be videoed and then at a later time identified in some fashion?
Well, the statute says they can do it anonymously. If they wish to give their name, they can, but they don't have to. And what happened, most people know I live on the border of Tennessee. Like, if I could hit a 60-degree wedge straight, it would be probably 60, 70 feet. Yeah, but Chattanooga has one in a fire hall. And last March, after we discussed this bill with the Speaker, that night a child was surrendered and successfully taken to a medical facility. Now that child's in a family, so it's a good process.
Gentleman has no further questions. Did we pass this bill last year? Is that what you said?
We passed it as part of another bill, which I want to thank Representative Clark for doing that.
But we perfected it. We have no further questions.
Thank you. And thank you to Chairman Crow for your help on this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machine? All members voted. All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machine? On the passage of House Bill 350, the yeas are 168, the nays are 0. The bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Congratulations. Members, former Representative Angela Couch, where are you? There she is in the back. Let's make her welcome. Welcome back to the People's House. Representative Couch. Representative Baker, come back if you don't mind. Members, we have a couple other bills we're going to take up, but we'd like to recognize someone first. So members, our doctor of the day today belongs to one of our House members, Representative Sylvia Wafer Baker. I demoted you to senator there for a second. You won't take that. You're going to stay with us. This is Dr. Stieglitz. We are so grateful for you being here. Thank you for your service. She's a doctor with the WellStar organization. We appreciate her service. Thank you for being here to serve us. Thank you very much. Let's give her a hand. I didn't say it then. She is her daughter. Y'all thought she was her sister. I know that. Her daughter. I apologize. Thank you so much. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 946?
House Bill 946 by Representative Clifton of the 131st and others, to be entitled an act to amend Title 27 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to game and fish so as to authorize hunting and trapping of feral hogs under certain circumstances. This bill having been assigned to the Committee on Game, Fish, and Parks, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Representative Clifton is recognized to present the bill. We appreciate your work on this. It's an important issue. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll give the member in the well your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have here before you today House Bill 946, which will provide hunters and landowners with more tools to remove invasive, destructive feral hogs from Georgia's landscape. We already have several state programs and initiatives working to tackle this problem, but we are, as elected officials, have the opportunity to remove statutory burdens currently in place. I have worked with our team at DNR and have their support on these efforts. House Bill 946 would remove the following barriers, therefore helping to remove even more of these invasive animals. Section 1 of the bill would allow residents and non-residents to trap and kill feral hogs without a hunting or trapping license. As you can see up here, that's a picture of a feral hog and one of these invasive species we're trying to help diminish a little. Section 2 removes the wildlife control permit related to taking of any feral hogs. And finally, Section 3 does two things. First, it would legalize the hunting of hogs on private property from a motor vehicle without the need of someone to acquire a wildlife control permit from DNR. Currently, the law prohibits the hunting of feral hogs from motor vehicles unless a wildlife control permit has been issued. Second, it will allow the use of unmanned aircraft systems or drones to locate feral hogs. We're not killing them with drones, we're just using them to locate and find them. And based on the existing statute, it is currently unlawful to use an aircraft to hunt feral hogs. The language is included on line 47 through 49 and would explicitly allow unmanned aircraft systems used to locate feral hogs on private property. If you could go to the next picture. That is a typical area that hogs have gotten in and destroyed agriculture, which is another reason this bill is very important. With that, Mr. Speaker, I will entertain any questions.
You have a couple of questions. To your right, Representative Chaz Cannon is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true that damage occurring on farms throughout Georgia from hogs is about $150 million annually?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Does the gentleman further yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true that this is being done on some places already, but this just further codifies it in the law?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman has a couple more other questions. Representative Thomas, to your right, is recognized for a question.
Thank you. Do you yield?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, is this in any way going to affect the wild hog supper?
We might have a little bit more barbecue if we can get this thing through.
Well, thank you. In that case, I'll support the bill.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman Petrie, to your left, is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true, Representative, that not only is this species invasive to the North American continent and destructive of agriculture, but also of native wildlife and native species such as quail nest, turkey nest, etc.?
Absolutely. And just to add, the feral hogs can reproduce, I believe, 2, sometimes 3 times a year and have a litter of piglets up to about 18. So once hogs are in your area, it is almost impossible to get rid of them. So again, this measure is to help keep the population down so they do not destroy property and, to your point, wildlife.
Representative Reese, to your left in the back, is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that these hogs are actually causing millions of dollars in damage to our farming industry here in Georgia and can damage acres just within a nighttime span?
Yes, sir. As of 2020, UGA Extension estimated about $150 million in damages.
And isn't it further true that many of our farmers in the rural parts of our state just don't have the capacity to fence off their entire properties, but these hogs are causing a huge issue, as well as the deer too, that I'm hearing from some farmers. I know we're just dealing with hogs today, but the deer are also causing a major issue for our farmers and the products that they yield.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Chairman Dickey, he should know a little bit about this subject matter. Let's see what he knows. He has a question. Chairman Dickey.
Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Not only agricultural crops, but I think it's known that they will damage and our sea turtle nests if they're on the coast in those situations. So a very destructive animal.
Absolutely.
Representative Osteen, and then one more. Representative Osteen is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it not true that my family farms many, many, many acres and they destroy our family farm every single year?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it not true that it is costing us a fortune every year to get people to come and kill these things for us?
Yes, ma'am.
I look forward to supporting the bill. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To your left, Representative Donahue is recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is this not true? Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true that this will not affect Wilbur, our friend in Charlotte's Web?
This is for feral hogs only, not hogs that are pets or farm raised. So,
Well,
yes,
thank
sir.
you for bringing the bill. It's a great bill.
Thank you.
Gentleman has no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well and ask for your favorable consideration.
Just to follow up on Chairman Dickey's question and that answer, all of our friends from the coast realize how destructive these predators are on our sea turtle nest. Ossabaw Island is one of our most prolific sea islands that provides a spot for sea turtles to nest, and they are a real problem, y'all. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machine? Have all members voted? All members voted? If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machine? On the passage of House Bill 946, the yeas are 163, the nays are 1. The bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption of House Bill 999?
House Bill 999 by Representative Lever to the 123rd and others, to be entitled an act to amend Article 5 of Chapter 10 of Title 15 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated, relating to fees and costs of magistrate courts, so as to revise provisions related to magistrate courts collecting sums and fees authorized by law. This bill having been referred to the Committee on Judiciary, that committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chairman Levitt, who comes from where all that granite is recognized to present the bill. Chairman Leverett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, House Bill 999 is one of these exciting high-voltage bills for which I have become known to present to you. It does two things. It impacts our magistrate courts. First of all, it allows magistrate courts to assess fees in addition to what they can collect by statute if they're authorized by local law, by local act of the General Assembly. A number of courts already do that, but in the opinion of Legislative Counsel, as one of my clients once said to me, you had a big rat rod, it ain't exactly legal. So that is their opinion. I know a lot of us have it, but this bill would fix it, basically. It would render that, as long as there's a local act, it would render technology fees and that sort of thing legal. It would also allow courts in the future to do it. This arose for me personally because one of my magistrate judges wanted to assess such a fee. So it would do that, and I would keep in mind, I know many of us don't like additional fees, but this is a fee that the court can assess and basically collect the revenue to fund their technology needs through the people who are before the court rather than put that burden on county taxpayers. Second, the bill fixes a repealer from House Bill 426, Representative New's bill last year, which passed this House, that would make probate judges and magistrate judges nonpartisan positions. The issue is, in that bill, probate judges are constitutional officers. So making them nonpartisan had to be approved or ratified at a constitutional referendum. There's a resolution, I think, currently pending that hopefully will reach the floor at some point that would authorize that referendum. The problem is, in the bill, when we have a constitutional referendum, we put in the bill enacting something that's subject to a referendum repealer language. So if the referendum does not pass, then whatever we did in that bill is repealed. The problem was with House Bill 426, there was a little typo in there, and it repealed the whole thing, the part on magistrate judges as well as the part on probate judges, if the referendum that just applied to probate judges didn't pass. So we fixed that with this bill. We're revising that act so that the repealer applies only to the parts about probate judges if the referendum does not pass. So I hope you all were able to contain yourselves in that exciting presentation. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to stand for any questions.
Yes, if you'll yield, Representative Jason Ridley and I have a question. I'm going to recognize Jason Ridley for the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman yield.
Absolutely.
This charge that's on here, I know there was a new program they was trying to implement at some courthouses, and then they was trying to do it all over the state. And I know some judges came up here and talked to me about that they didn't want to implement. This don't have anything to do with that.
To my knowledge, it does not. This is simply about a technology fee within the magistrate court system to keep
I
their
don't
dockets.
get nervous a lot, but when an attorney tells me, to my knowledge, no, I kind of have to question that.
Well, I'll handle it. The representative would. Absolutely not.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I am absolutely positive it ain't involved.
My sentiments exactly, Representative Ridley. The gentleman has no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I'll leave you with this final thought. If I had a nickel for every math exam I'd failed, I'd have $11.23 now. Thank you.
I can't top that one. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? Hearing none, the previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? Hearing none, the report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machine? Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machine? On the passage of House Bill 999, the yeas are 160, the nays are 4. The bill having received the requisite constitutional majority is therefore passed. That completes our rules calendar. We have some afternoon orders. You'll have up to 2 minutes for your afternoon order, up to 2 minutes. Representative Prince, Representative Richardson, and the entire Augusta delegation. Chairman Prince, Augusta delegation, make your way down. If gentlemen will suspend just for a moment.
We got somebody up there? No, I don't see anybody. Who's up here? Nobody's up there. We just recognize.
You have one more on the way. Gentlemen, hold up just for a moment.
Thank you.
Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to everyone here. I hope you are going to enjoy wearing your master's hat. These have to be purchased a year in advance because the course doesn't open other than Master's Week to those of us. But Augusta's a lot more than just the Medical College of Georgia and the Masters. but I will say those get us off to a good start in taking care of a lot of the state. I want to thank you all for welcoming whoever you see from Augusta Day as you see them throughout the day. Really, the greater Augusta area includes Waynesboro, Augusta, and downtown Augusta there, Martinez, Evans, a lot of Columbia County, even McDuffie County. So we're excited to be here today. We're excited to welcome them to the People's House, and I hope you enjoy the little memento that we've left. Thank y'all.
We'll try to be out by the time the Masters begins. What do you think? Bet we will be. Thank you, and we are proud to recognize and welcome all of the Augusta folks to the Capitol. And thanks for all you do for our state, from health care to entertainment, sports. It's a lot of things, good things going on in that area. Representative Schofield, recognized for an afternoon order. How about let's recognize Representative Williams. I don't see Representative Schofield right now. Representative Al Williams is recognized for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I got closer because it's so cold in here right now. My old bones wasn't working. Hint, hint. I rise to mention a committee that I served on this past year, the Select Insurance Committee, headed by Representative Matt Reeves. It was a great committee. I thought it did great work, and hats off to the chairman, who I thought was very fair throughout the process. My rising is very personal. We were told by one of the major insurance companies, the largest in this country, about decreasing rates. We had no major catastrophes last year in Georgia. And for some reason, to my surprise, after being promised a rate increase, not personally, but overall, I got my bill a few days ago, and my bill went up $727 a year. That's the exact reverse of what I thought. But in addition, from a non-personal standpoint, there are too many small businesses in Georgia, particularly body shops, that are just mistreated by reimbursement rates by our insurance companies. When you get ready to fix a car now, and you might have just knocked the taillight out, but it's so integral until if you affect any electronics, it becomes a major job. And many times these insurance companies will only reimburse the body shop 50% of the cost. Now, I feel real sorry for these little broke companies that only pay their bosses about $50 million a year. My heart bleeds for them. But time out. We did something about how they were treating independent pharmacists in Georgia a few years ago. It's time to look into how they're treating independent business people on reimbursement rates. And ain't nothing wrong with getting old, so don't tell me you raised my rate without telling me it's because I might limp a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With that, I yield the well.
Thank you, Representative. Thanks to that committee, and thanks for your service on that committee on that serious note. On a not so serious note, Representative Williams, you've heard of global warming. We're trying to make sure we can take care of it. It gets hot in here, so we turned the air conditioner down this morning to take care of that. It's a test. I think it's working well. Representative Schofield. Okay. Representative Ali.
Good afternoon, members of this House. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to continue the tradition from my predecessor. Please give your attention to the screen where 13-year-old Riley is. Riley is available for adoption, but she is more than just that fact. She is kind, she's a cheerleader, an athlete, a grade A student, and a true friend to those around her. And as you all know by now, It's myturnnow.ghs.georgia.gov is where you can make a difference in not just Riley's life, but so many other children available for adoption. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for carrying on the tradition. Representative Ford and Representative Howard recognized for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Georgia Agribusiness Council, Representative Ford and myself would like to invite everyone to join us this afternoon at the Freight Depot in the Blue Room for a reception starting at 5 o'clock, and in the morning at 7:30 back at the Freight Depot for our annual legislative breakfast. Again, for the Georgia Agribusiness Council, and you should have this on your desk. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Appreciate what Agribusiness Council does. Join those folks. Folks from all over Georgia. Representative Okoye. Representative Gabe Okoye. He knows a little bit about engineering. So give the gentleman your attention, please. Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You introduced, how you say stand up? Okay, hold on. On top of this? All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You actually introduced me correctly. It says I know a little bit about engineering. A lot. But I am here to thank Mr. Speaker, because the other day I went to the restroom. I was shocked. Ladies, I didn't go to yours, but I think the Speaker cannot be discriminating. I'm sure he did the same thing that he did in the men's room to your rooms, but it looked great. If you believe it looked great, stop nodding your head and give him a round of applause. So we recognize people every day here, but we fail to recognize when one of us does something that is commendable. Mr. Speaker, you are recognized and commended. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative, but give all the credit to Georgia Building Authority. Gerald and his crew did a great job on this building. That concludes our afternoon orders. Appreciate all of the attention y'all have given today. Mr. Clerk, would you read the caption to a group of privileged resolution?
Honoring the life, service, and accomplishment of Zaid Kennemer. Honoring the 1966 Perry High School basketball team on the 60th anniversary of winning the Class A state championship. Honoring the work of Georgia's aerospace and defense industry and recognizing February 3rd, 2026 as Georgia Aerospace and Defense Day at the state capitol. Recognizing, commending, Reignite the Flame. Recognizing and honoring Cindy Connolly. Recognizing and commending Councilwoman Alicia Washington on her outstanding public service. Recognizing and commending Councilwoman Tara Graves on her outstanding public service. Recognizing and commending Councilwoman Carmesha Washington Smith on her outstanding public service. Recognizing WXIA Atlanta for outstanding public service in honor of Georgia Severe Weather Preparation. Recognizing the WSB TV Meteorology Team for outstanding public service in honor of the Georgia Severe Weather Preparation Week. Recognizing the Youth Civic Advisory Board. Recognizing CBS Atlanta, WPA TV for outstanding public service in honor of Georgia Severe Weather Preparation Week. Recognizing Atlanta News First, WANF, for outstanding public service in honor of Georgia Severe Weather Preparation Week. Recognizing Fox 5 for outstanding public service in honor of Georgia Severe Weather Preparation Week. Commending Otis J. Brock for a life of love, service, and extraordinary accomplishments. Commending the Coweta Cattlemen's Association of Coweta County. Commending and congratulating the Newman Kiwanis Club upon its 100th anniversary, and recognizing the Newman Junior Service League upon its 100th anniversary, and recognizing National School Council Week at the state capitol, and recognizing March 2026 as Chronic Kidney Disease Awareness Month in Georgia. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privileged resolution.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? Hearing none, the resolutions are adopted. We have one more kind of announcement, give a great shout out to someone. Representative Karen Lupton is recognized before we go to announcements.
Thank you, Speaker. I just want to let you all know, we don't know each other's spouses all that much, but I just got word that my husband works for Salesforce. He's done some terrific deals this year, and his boss nominated him for SE of the Year in his project, and he just found out that he won. So yay, honey! Thank you. Colleagues, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Congratulations to Mr. Lupton. Hope he gets a raise too. Yeah, that's that part. Good stuff. All right, members, we're moving on to announcements right now. Chairman Hatchett. Appropriations Chair Hatchett is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the Appropriations Committee, subcommittees will begin meeting at 7 a.m. in room 341 on the amended FY26 budget, 7 a.m. Schedule is posted for your subcommittees. Full committee will meet at 8:30. Appropriations will meet at 8:30. Full committee in room 341 tomorrow.
Schedule is posted. Okay. Chairman Parrish, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to follow up on that, members of the Rules Committee, we will meet in the morning upon adjournment of the Appropriations Committee, or 9 o'clock, however that falls. So right after appropriation finishes, we'll have a Rules meeting in the morning. Please be there. Thank you.
Representative Rhonda Taylor is recognized for an announcement. Representative Park Cannon, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are leaving this body here, going straight over to CLOB 310 for the Women's Legislative Caucus meeting. And I am super excited to announce our guest speaker will be our Speaker Pro Tem, Jan Jones. Meet us over there. We have a great lunch, and we can't wait to hear from her. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Park Cannon, recognized Representative Franklin, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow, Wednesday, February 4th, is Fashion Day at the Capitol. From 2 to 4 p.m., we will have 4 different fashion concierge in room 216. What is a fashion concierge? That's somebody who shops for you while you are busy. So if you have a big gala coming up, or you've been interested in finding some new ties or some new accessories, they'll be here in room 216. You can come by and possibly get some more style. Thank you.
I think that could be used around here, some more style. Representative Franklin. Chairman Bonner, you're on deck. Representative Lehman Franklin is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, colleagues.
I want to join him. You have some friends? Wait a minute. You have one more.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Everybody, I just want to remind everybody once again that Habitat for Humanity is outside at Liberty Plaza. Yes, come on up. And they're serving lunch today at 12 o'clock, and they're going to start construction again at 1 o'clock. So please go out there and support them, join them, go see what they're doing. I know you're going to probably have constituents that are here, that are there you can meet with. They've done great work throughout Georgia for a very long time, and they continue to do it. So thank you for your support.
Great organization. Chairman Bonner is recognized. Chairman Thomas is on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Defense and Veteran Affairs Committee today, 2 o'clock at CLOB 506. Thank you.
Chairman Thomas is recognized for an announcement. And Representative Gamble, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Governmental Affairs Subcommittee on State and Local Government will be meeting at 4:15 at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Gamble. Chairman Williamson, you're up next.
Thank you, Speaker. Fellowship will meet tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. in the House Judiciary Room. Hope that you join us.
Chairman Williamson is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There will be a majority caucus lunch immediately upon adjournment in room 403. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Cummins, Representative Terry Cummins, Recognized for an announcement.
Good afternoon. The Cobb Legislative Delegation will be meeting in Club 514 at 12 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Chairman Dickey, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The members of the Agricultural Consumer Affairs Committee will meet today at 1 o'clock, 5:06, and we had to move the meeting from yesterday morning, tomorrow morning, due to conflict. So today at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Representative Burchett and Representative Corbett, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you are aware, or if you're not aware, I'm here to announce that the F-35 simulator is down there in the rotunda. They'll be there all afternoon. Go over there and get on it if you'd like. You may be aware or may not be aware the F-35 mission was assigned to Moody Air Force Base in our part of the world, so we're very excited about that for the longevity of South Georgia's military base. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Absolutely. All right. Come listen to the sound of freedom this afternoon.
Awesome. Thank you. Planning on doing it. That completes our announcements. Majority leaders recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until Wednesday, February 4th, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m.
On the motion of Majority Leader Estration that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Wednesday, February the 4th, 2026. All those in favor will say aye. Opposed, no. But even closed. The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you.